My name's Ethan, and I'm still fuming about what went down at my brother Caleb's big barn party last weekend. I've been replaying it in my head, and every time I do, I get more ticked off. If you've ever had a family member treat you like dirt while everyone else just chuckles like it's no big deal, you'll understand where I'm coming from. This is about Caleb, my older brother, who's always had a knack for making me feel like I'm less than him. This time, though, it wasn't just another jab. It hit different, and what I did after made sure he felt the sting. Yesterday, he sent me a flood of texts, like 10 in a row, screaming, "Answer your phone, you wrecked everything." I'm getting ahead of myself, so let me back up and lay it out. I need to vent, and this is probably going to be a long one, so bear with me. For context, Caleb's always been the golden boy. He's 2 years older, loud, charming, and knows how to work a room. Growing up, he was the one cracking jokes, getting away with skipping chores, while I was stuck mowing the lawn or fixing the fence. Our folks, especially Dad, always let Caleb slide, saying he's just spirited. Me? I'm the reliable one, the guy who shows up with a toolbox or hauls furniture when someone needs it. It's been that way forever, and Caleb leans into it, acting like manual labor's beneath him. Now he's 32, I'm 30, and nothing's changed, except this time, he pushed too far. The whole mess started with this barn party Caleb threw to show off a property he's renting from our great-aunt Marjorie. It's not his, but he acts like he owns it. The place is this old farmhouse with a big red barn out back, a couple hours from town. Marjorie moved to Arizona years ago and lets Caleb stay there cheap, mostly to keep it lived in. He's been calling it my farm to anyone who'll listen, but anyone in the family knows it's Marjorie's, and she's particular about it. Caleb's been living there a year, fixing it up, or so he claims. Truth is, he's mostly just throwing parties and posting pictures online. I got the invite through a group text from Mom, not Caleb. It was this generic, "Come celebrate Caleb's new setup," message with a time and address, no personal touch. My name wasn't even on it, which stung, but I figured he was just being lazy. My girlfriend, Sarah, and I decided to go anyway. The invite mentioned help set up, so we showed up early to pitch in, like I always do. When we got there, the place was a disaster, cardboard boxes stacked in the yard, trash bags spilling over, tables and chairs still folded in the barn. Caleb was in the house, sipping a beer, messing with some speaker system, while his fiancée, Tessa, chatted with her cousins. First thing he says to me? "Yo, Ethan, the barn door's jammed again. Can you take a look?" "No, good to see you." "No, nothing." Just points me to a job like I'm hired help. Sarah and I spent the next hour dragging tables out, setting up chairs, and stringing lights while Caleb played host to Tessa's cousins. They were polite, but kept giving us these looks, like we were staff, not family. Tessa thanked Sarah once, all sweet-like, saying, "You're a lifesaver," but it felt more like she was glad someone else was doing the grunt work. By the time guests started rolling in, Mom, Dad, our cousin Nate, Aunt Clara, Marjorie via video call, and a bunch of Tessa's folks, it was clear Caleb was in performance mode. He'd swagger around, cracking jokes, but whenever something needed doing, he'd holler, "Ethan, can you grab that?" Or, "Ethan, the cooler's empty." I caught Mom watching once, her face tight, but she didn't say a word. She's always been about keeping things calm. As the party ramped up, I was stuck hauling ice, restocking drinks, or moving chairs for Tessa's grandma. Caleb called me "Fix It Ethan" in front of everyone, and they laughed. I tried to brush it off, but Sarah was steaming. She whispered, "He's treating you like a servant." I just shrugged, not wanting to make a scene. Then came the gift-giving part. Everyone gathered in the barn, Tessa's brother filming on his phone. Caleb opened presents like he was on a game show, gushing over each one. I handed him a $400 gift card for a home store, more than I could really afford, but I wanted to support him. He barely looked at it, just said, "Nice, thanks," and slid it aside. Tessa at least smiled and said it was thoughtful. The final straw came when they started talking about a family barbecue the next day. I asked, "What time's the barbecue?" thinking we'd all be there. Caleb smirked, rolled his eyes, and said, "Come on, Ethan, that's for actual family. You're just the muscle around here." He said it dead serious, not a hint of a joke. The barn erupted in laughter, some awkward, some genuine, especially Tessa's cousins. Sarah's jaw dropped. Mom muttered, "Caleb, that's not nice," but he waved her off and changed the subject. I felt my face burn, but I didn't say a word. Just walked out to the truck to cool off. Nate followed, saying Caleb was just messing, but I told him to drop it. Sarah grabbed our stuff, and we left without a goodbye. Caleb shouted after us, "Thanks for the heavy lifting, Ethan," and Tessa giggled. I slammed the truck door so hard the window rattled. Driving home, Sarah let loose, saying Caleb's always been a jerk and nobody ever calls him out. She showed me Tessa's social media, already posting about the family barbecue with pictures of everyone but us. Mom texted me later, saying, "Sorry things got tense, but please don't make a fuss." I didn't reply. I'm done being Caleb's doormat. He's always needed to be the star, and I've let it slide my whole life. Not this time. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but I'm not letting this go. I'm tired of being the guy who takes it so Caleb can shine. Something's gotta change, and I'm ready to make it happen. It's been a couple days since Caleb's barn party, and I'm still steaming. I keep seeing that smirk on his face when he called me just the muscle in front of everyone, like I'm some hired hand instead of his brother. The way the room laughed, like it was all a big joke, keeps playing in my head. Sarah, my girlfriend, is just as fed up, maybe even more. She's been ranting about how Caleb's always gotten away with treating me like this, and I'm starting to realize she's right. I've always let it slide, but not anymore. Something snapped in me, and I'm done playing the good guy who takes it on the chin. Caleb's been texting me nonstop, trying to act like nothing happened, then flipping to guilt trips when I don't reply. I'm not biting. This time, I'm pushing back, and it's already shaking things up. The morning after the party, I woke up to a family group chat buzzing with, what a blast, messages and pictures from the night before. Not a single mention of me or Sarah, or how we bailed early after Caleb's stunt. Sarah showed me Tessa's social media, where she'd posted a video of the family barbecue they had the next day, everyone clinking glasses, laughing, no sign of us. It was like we didn't exist. Mom sent me a private text, saying, I'm sorry Caleb was rude, but please don't stir the pot. He's just trying to impress Tessa's family. Same old story, excusing Caleb, asking me to keep the peace. I didn't respond. I'm tired of being the one who swallows it so everyone else can stay comfortable. Sarah and I talked it over at breakfast. She was pacing the kitchen, coffee mug in hand, saying, Ethan, he's been doing this your whole life. Nobody calls him out, so he thinks it's fine. She's not wrong. Caleb's always been the star charming, loud, the one who gets a pass because he's fun. Meanwhile, I'm the guy fixing leaks or moving couches, and somehow that makes me less in his eyes. The barn isn't even his, it's Great Aunt Marjorie's, and she's only letting him stay there to see if he can handle it. He's been bragging to Tessa's family about his farm, but Marjorie's made it clear it's a trial run. If he screws up, she can yank it back. And from what I saw at the party, he's not exactly proving himself. Here's the thing. I know more about the farmhouse than Caleb thinks. Marjorie's always been straight with me, mostly because I'm the one who's helped her out over the years, patching the roof, checking the pipes when she still lived there. She's told me Caleb's on thin ice, and she's not signing anything over until he shows he's responsible. The party was a mess, beer cans in the yard, a busted chair by the barn, food wrappers scattered like confetti. I'm betting he didn't clean it up, and that's my angle. I'm not just gonna sit here and let him walk over me again. I decided to make a move. I called Marjorie, keeping it low-key. Hey, just checking in after the party, I said, asking how she's doing in Arizona. She's sharp, picked up on my tone right away. What's wrong, Ethan? You sound off. I didn't sugarcoat it. I told her how Caleb treated me, calling me the muscle in front of everyone, acting like I'm not family. Then I mentioned the state of the place, trash everywhere, furniture banged up, the barn door still creaking because he never bothers to fix it. If you're thinking about handing him the deed, I said, you might want to swing by and see what's going on. Marjorie sighed, long and heavy, like she wasn't surprised. Thanks for telling me, she said. I'll look into it. I hung up, feeling a mix of relief and guilt, but the guilt didn't last. Not after I remembered Caleb pointing at me like I'm some lackey. Next, I did something a little riskier. Tessa's dad, Greg, runs a hardware store in town, and I've bumped into him a few times. He's always liked Caleb, thinks he's got his act together because of the farmhouse. Caleb's been milking that, inviting Greg over, talking up his property. I sent Greg a text, nothing too direct, just, hey, you might want to ask Caleb about the farmhouse. Not sure it's as locked in as he says. I didn't spill everything, just enough to plant a seed. Sarah raised an eyebrow when I told her, saying, that's bold, Ethan. I shrugged. He wants to play big shot. Let's see how he handles the truth. The family group chat stayed lively, but it was all surface stuff, pictures, jokes about the barbecue. Cousin Nate, who laughed hardest at Caleb's jab, texted me separately, asking why I dipped out early. I just said, didn't feel like sticking around. He didn't push. Mom sent another private message, begging me not to make waves. I left it on read. Then Tessa texted Sarah, all upset, saying her dad's asking questions about the farmhouse now, and Caleb stressed. Sarah didn't bite, just replied, talk to Caleb. We're not in this. Tessa tried to guilt her, saying we should have helped more at the party. Sarah shut it down. We did plenty. That night, Caleb called me 3 times. I let it go to voicemail. His text came next. What did you tell Marjorie? She's on my case now. You're screwing me over, Ethan. I didn't reply. Sarah said, let him squirm. He earned it. I'm not trying to burn the farmhouse down, but I'm done covering for Caleb. He's always had someone, mom, dad, me, to clean up his messes. Not this time. I'm betting Marjorie's going to check on the place soon, and when she sees the shape it's in, Caleb's going to have to answer for it. Things are heating up, and I'm not backing off. This is just the start. It's been about a week since Caleb's barn party, and things are getting messy. I'm still ticked off about him calling me just the muscle, but now that I've started pushing back, it's like the whole family's walking on eggshells. Caleb's scrambling, and I'm not lifting a finger to bail him out. His texts have gone from whining to straight up nasty, accusing me of trying to sabotage him. Sarah, my girlfriend, says it's about time he faces the music, and I'm with her. I've spent my whole life letting Caleb slide, but that's over. The farmhouse isn't even his, it's Great Aunt Marjorie's, and after I tipped her off about the mess, she's not playing around. Caleb's starting to feel the heat, and it's showing everybody's true colors. The family group chat's gone quiet, except for Mom sending random recipe links or asking who's free for Sunday dinner. Nobody's mentioning the party or how Caleb humiliated me in front of everyone. It's like they're hoping it'll all blow over if we pretend it didn't happen. Sarah caught Tessa posting more pictures of the farmhouse online, captioned, "Living the dream," but the comments are getting spicy. Tessa's dad, Greg, who I texted last week, left one saying, "Heard this place isn't quite yours yet. Care to clarify?" Caleb replied with some vague, all good nonsense, but you can tell he's sweating. Sarah says Tessa's posts are starting to look desperate, like she's trying to keep up the act. I got a call from Marjorie a couple days ago, and she was all business. "Ethan, I drove up to the farmhouse," she said. "It's a pigsty. Broken bottles in the grass, a dented bucket by the barn, and the porch smells like spilled beer." I told her I wasn't surprised, given the party. She asked if Caleb's been keeping up with repairs like he promised. I kept it honest. He's been too busy playing king of the castle to fix anything. Marjorie didn't say much, just thanked me and said she'd handle it. I could tell she was mad, not at me, but at Caleb for dropping the ball. She's always been fair but strict, and Caleb's trial run at the farmhouse is looking shakier by the day. Meanwhile, Caleb's been trying to spin things. He showed up at Mom and Dad's place, according to my cousin Nate, crying about how I'm out to get him. Mom called me after, voice all shaky, saying, "Ethan, why'd you have to tell Marjorie?" Caleb's under so much pressure. I didn't hold back. "Mom," he called me the muscle in front of everyone. "I'm not his punching bag." She got quiet, then said, "Family doesn't do this to each other." I shot back, "Tell that to Caleb." She hung up, and I haven't heard from her since. Dad hasn't said a word, which is typical. He lets Mom handle the drama. Tessa's family is another story. After my text to Greg, he must have started digging, because Tessa messaged Sarah, all panicked. "Why's my dad saying the farmhouse isn't Caleb's? Did you guys say something?" Sarah kept it short. "Ask Caleb what's going on. We're not your secretaries." Tessa sent a long voice message, half crying, saying Caleb's stressed and we're making it worse. Sarah didn't even listen to the whole thing, just deleted it. Tessa's cousins, who were at the party, aren't helping. One of them posted a shady comment on Caleb's latest farmhouse picture, something like, "Hope you're cleaning up after that rager." Caleb deleted it fast, but Sarah saw it before it was gone. Last night, Caleb took it up a notch. He banged on our apartment door around 9, yelling my name. Sarah answered, arms crossed, and told him to back off. He tried to push past her, saying, "I need to talk to Ethan now." I stepped up, keeping the door half closed. "You got something to say it here." He went off, calling me a traitor, saying I'm jealous because he's making something of himself. I laughed, which set him off more. "You told Marjorie lies about the farmhouse," he shouted. I said, "I told her the truth. You trashed her property." He got in my face, but Sarah stepped between us, saying, "Try it, Caleb, and you're done." He backed off, muttering threats, then stormed out, slamming the stairwell door so hard it echoed. 10 minutes later, my phone lit up with text from him. "You're gonna regret this. I'm telling everyone you're a liar." I didn't reply, just screenshotted them and sent them to Marjorie with a note. Caleb came by, acting unhinged. She texted back, "Appreciate the heads up. Stay safe." Sarah says Caleb's spiraling because he's never had to deal with consequences. He's always had Mom, Dad, or even me to smooth things over. Not this time. I'm not cleaning up his mess, and Marjorie's not playing games. She texted me this morning, saying she's giving Caleb 1 week to fix the farmhouse or he's out. No extensions. The family's starting to split. Aunt Clara called, asking why I'm stirring trouble. I told her to go see the farmhouse herself if she thinks I'm lying. Nate texted, half joking, "Man, you went full scorched earth, huh?" I said, Caleb dug his own hole. Even Tessa's dad reached out, asking if I knew more about the farmhouse situation. I kept it vague, talked to Marjorie. She's the owner. He thanked me, and I'm guessing he's not thrilled with Caleb right now. Caleb's still posting online, acting like everything's fine, but the cracks are showing. He's burning bridges, and I'm not stopping him. If he wants to play the big shot, he can deal with the fallout. I'm just getting started. It's been 10 days since Caleb's barn party, and the whole thing's spiraling faster than I expected. I'm still mad about him calling me just the muscle in front of everyone, but watching him scramble now is something else. Caleb's always been the guy who talks his way out of trouble, but this time, he's running out of charm. Great Aunt Marjorie's got him on a tight leash with her farmhouse, and after I tipped her off about the mess, she's not messing around. Caleb's blowing up my phone with texts, first begging, then threatening, like he thinks he can bully me into fixing this for him. Sarah, my girlfriend, says he's panicking because he's never had to face real consequences. I'm done being his safety net, and it's shaking up the whole family. People are picking sides, and it's getting ugly. The family group chat's basically a ghost town now. Mom's still trying to play peacemaker, sending messages about family unity or random pictures of her garden, but nobody's biting. Dad stayed silent, which is his go-to when things get heated. I saw Tessa's latest social media post, a picture of her and Caleb at the farmhouse, captioned "Making Memories." But the comments are brutal. Tessa's dad, Greg, who I texted about the farmhouse not being Caleb's, commented, "Hope you're square with the real owner." Someone else, probably one of Tessa's cousins, wrote, "Place looked trash last time I was there." Caleb's been deleting comments left and right, but Sarah screenshots them before they disappear. She says it's like watching a house of cards collapse. Marjorie called me again yesterday, and she was fuming. I went back to the farmhouse, Ethan, she said. It's worse than before. Broken glass on the driveway, a ripped screen door, and someone burned a patch of grass near the barn. I told her Caleb must have thrown another party after the first one, because that's his style, double down instead of clean up. She asked if I'd seen him keeping up with the place at all. Not a chance, I said. He's too busy showing off to fix anything. Marjorie said she's giving him until the end of the week to make it right, or he's gone. I trusted him to prove himself, she said. He's failing. I didn't say much, just told her it's her call. I'm not here to beg for Caleb, not after what he pulled. Caleb's been trying every trick in the book. My cousin Nate told me Caleb showed up at his place, spinning a sob story about how I'm out to ruin him, by lying to Marjorie. Nate didn't buy it, but he said Caleb was half drunk, ranting about how he's earned the farmhouse. Mom called me after, crying, saying, Ethan, can't you talk to Marjorie? Caleb's falling apart. I kept it firm. He did this to himself, Mom. I'm not his janitor. She tried the family sticks together line, but I cut her off. Where was that when he called me the muscle in front of everyone? She didn't have an answer, just hung up. It hurt, but I'm done letting her guilt me into covering for Caleb. Tessa's family is pulling back hard. After Greg started asking questions, Tessa texted Sarah again, this time straight up mad. You and Ethan are causing drama, she wrote. My family's backing out of our summer plans at the farmhouse because of you. Sarah replied, your fiancé lied about owning the place. That's not on us. Tessa sent a long message, saying Caleb's under pressure, and we should have been more supportive. Sarah blocked her number. Greg called me later, asking point blank if the farmhouse is really Marjorie's. I said, yup, always has been. Caleb's just renting. Greg sighed, said he's rethinking how much he trusts Caleb. I didn't push, just let him stew. Last night, Caleb took it to another level. He showed up at our apartment, pounding on the door like he was trying to break it down. Sarah opened it a crack, told him to calm down or leave. He shoved the door, yelling, Ethan, get out here. You're destroying my life. I stepped up, keeping my cool. You trashed Marjorie's place and lied to everyone. That's on you. He got in my face, saying I'm jealous because he's building something and I'm stuck being the help. Sarah pushed between us, saying, back off, Caleb, or I'm calling the cops. He laughed, but when he saw her grab her phone, he backed down, muttering, you'll pay for this. He kicked the hallway wall and stormed off. My neighbor texted me after, asking if everything's okay. I said yeah, just family nonsense. Caleb's text came flooding in right after. You're a snake. I'm telling everyone you lied to Marjorie. You're done. I didn't respond, just sent the screenshots to Marjorie with a note. Caleb's losing it. Came by causing trouble. She replied, thanks for letting me know. Stay out of his way. Sarah says Caleb's digging his own grave, and I agree. He's always had someone to bail him out. Mom, Dad, even me when we were younger. But Marjorie's not budging, and neither am I. The family's fracturing fast. Aunt Clara texted, saying I'm making things worse by talking to Marjorie. I told her to check the farmhouse herself if she thinks I'm exaggerating. Nate's staying neutral, but he said, Caleb's freaking out, man. You sure about this? I said, never been surer. Tessa's cousins are done with Caleb, from what Sarah hears. They're telling Greg the farmhouse parties were a mess, and he's not happy. Caleb's still posting online, acting like he's got it all under control, but it's falling apart. Marjorie's deadline's in a few days, and if he doesn't fix the place, he's out. I'm not helping, and I'm not backing down. Caleb wanted to treat me like dirt. Now he's seeing what happens when I stop playing along. Things are about to get messy, and I'm ready for it. It's been 2 weeks since Caleb's barn party, and the fallout's hitting hard. I'm still burning over him calling me just the muscle, but I'm holding my ground. Caleb's world is crumbling, and he's lashing out like a cornered animal. Great Aunt Marjorie's got him on a deadline to fix the farmhouse, and from what I hear, he's not even close to pulling it off. His texts have turned into a mix of rage and desperation, begging me to make this right, 1 minute, then calling me a backstabber the next. Sarah, my girlfriend, says he's finally seeing what happens when you treat people like garbage. The family's splitting down the middle. Some blame me, some are just done with Caleb's antics. I'm not budging, and it feels like the first time I'm standing up for myself. The family group chat's a wasteland now. Mom stopped with the cheerful messages, and the last thing she sent was a vague, let's talk soon, that nobody answered. Dad's still radio silent, which is no surprise. He avoids conflict like it's a disease. Sarah showed me Tessa's social media, where she's still posting farmhouse pictures, but the vibe's off. Her captions are short, like, good times, and the comments are drying up. Tessa's dad, Greg, posted something cryptic about trust being earned, and Caleb didn't even respond. Sarah says Tessa's trying to save face, but it's not working. Word's spreading that the farmhouse isn't Caleb's, and his big shot act is falling apart. Marjorie texted me yesterday, sounding exhausted. I checked the farmhouse again. Ethan, she said. It's a disaster. Trash piled up, a broken window in the barn, and the fence is leaning like it's about to fall. I asked if Caleb's done anything to fix it. Not a thing, she said. He keeps promising, but it's all talk. She's sticking to her ultimatum. End of the week, or he's out. I told her I'm staying out of it, but I'm glad she's holding him accountable. You did right by telling me, she said. I needed to know. I felt a weight lift, knowing she's not blaming me. Caleb's had every chance to step up, and he's blowing it. Caleb's been working overtime to dodge the consequences. My cousin Nate said Caleb crashed at his place last night, spinning a story about how I'm poisoning the family against him. Nate's not buying it anymore. He saw the farmhouse mess himself when he dropped by to grab a cooler Caleb borrowed. Place looks like a frat house. Nate texted me. Mom's still trying to play mediator, calling me to say, Ethan, can't you help Caleb just this once? He's your brother. I shut it down. He's my brother, not my boss. He needs to fix his own mess. She started crying, saying I'm tearing us apart. I said, Mom, I'm family too, and I'm done being the doormat. She didn't argue, just sighed and hung up. Tessa's family is done with Caleb. Greg called me, asking for the full story on the farmhouse. I laid it out. Marjorie owns it, Caleb's renting, and he's been lying about it being his. Greg thanked me, said he's pulling back from Caleb's big plans for a family retreat there. Tessa texted Sarah one last time, accusing us of ruining everything by talking to her dad. Sarah didn't even reply, just blocked her. Tessa's cousins are gossiping online, saying Caleb's parties trashed the place, and Greg's furious about being misled. Caleb's losing allies fast, and it's all his own doing. Caleb showed up at our apartment again last night, this time quieter, almost defeated. Sarah answered the door, and he asked to talk to me. No yelling. I stepped out, keeping my distance. He looked rough, bags under his eyes, clothes wrinkled. Ethan, I'm sorry. Okay, he said. I didn't mean it at the party. Help me talk to Marjorie. I wasn't buying the act. You meant every word, I said. You've treated me like this forever, and I'm done. He got mad, saying I'm jealous of his success. I laughed. What success? You're squatting in Marjorie's farmhouse, lying to everyone. He clenched his fists, but Sarah was right there, phone in hand, ready to call someone. He backed off, muttering, You'll regret this, and left. His text came an hour later, a flurry of them. You're dead to me. I'm telling everyone you're a liar. Enjoy being alone. I sent the screenshots to Marjorie, saying Caleb's still causing trouble. She replied, I'm handling it. Keep your head up. Sarah says Caleb's out of moves, and she's right. He's always had someone to clean up after him, but not now. Aunt Claire is on his side, calling me to say I'm too hard on him. I told her to go see the farmhouse and call me back. Nate's leaning my way, saying Caleb's had this coming. The family's divided, and I'm not trying to fix it. Caleb's got a few days left to save himself, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm standing my ground, and it feels good, even if it's messy. It's been 3 weeks since Caleb's barn party, and things are coming to a head. I'm still raw about him calling me just the muscle, but I'm not backing down. Caleb's on the verge of losing the farmhouse, and he's pulling out all the stops to save himself, guilt trips, threats, even fake apologies. Great Aunt Marjorie's deadline is tomorrow, and from what she's told me, Caleb's done next to nothing to fix the place. His texts are relentless, a mix of you owe me, and you're destroying our family. Sarah, my girlfriend, says he's grasping at straws, and I'm starting to see how deep his entitlement runs. The family's a mess, half want me to fix it, half are sick of Caleb's drama. I'm done playing nice, and what happened last night was the final straw. The family group chat's dead now, except for Mom sending a lone message about Thanksgiving plans that nobody answered. Dad's still avoiding it all, no surprise there. Tessa's social media's gone quiet, no more farmhouse posts, just vague quotes about moving on. Sarah says Tessa's cousins are done with Caleb, and Greg, her dad, unfollowed him online. Caleb's been trying to keep up appearances, posting a picture of the farmhouse porch with a caption like, work in progress, but a neighbor commented, still a mess, man. Caleb deleted it, but Sarah caught it first. His big shot facade's cracking, and everyone's noticing. Marjorie called me this morning, sounding fed up. Ethan, I gave Caleb every chance, she said. I went to the farmhouse yesterday. Trash bags piled up, a broken chair rotting in the yard, and the barn's got graffiti on it now. Graffiti? That's new. I asked if Caleb's even tried to clean up. He swept the porch, she said, but that's it. He's been begging for more time, but I'm done. She's kicking him out tomorrow unless a miracle happens. I told her I'm sorry it came to this, but it's his fault. You opened my eyes, she said. I should have listened sooner. I felt a pang of guilt, but it faded fast. Caleb's had years to grow up. Caleb's been hitting up everyone for help. Nate said Caleb called him, asking for money to fix the farmhouse. Nate laughed and said, I'm not bankrolling your parties. Mom texted me, begging me to talk to Marjorie. He's your brother, Ethan. He's got nowhere to go. I kept it short. He's got a day to figure it out. I'm not his savior. She didn't reply. Aunt Claire is still on Caleb's side, leaving me a voicemail saying I'm heartless for turning on family. I didn't call back. Nate's flipped to my side, texting, Caleb's out of control. Man, you did the right thing. Even Dad finally texted, just, this is tough on your mom. I didn't respond. They all let Caleb skate for too long. Tessa's out of the picture now. Sarah heard from a mutual friend that Tessa broke it off with Caleb after Greg confronted him about lying. Tessa's cousins are spreading word that Caleb's been dodging bills for the farmhouse utilities, which Marjorie confirmed. Greg's done with him, and Tessa's not answering his calls. Caleb tried texting Sarah, saying, "Tell Ethan to stop this. I'll make it right." Sarah didn't reply, just showed me the message. "He's delusional," she said. I nodded. He's still acting like he's the victim, but nobody's buying it anymore. Last night was the breaking point. Caleb showed up at our apartment, drunk, banging on the door at midnight. Sarah opened it a crack, told him to leave. He pushed hard, yelling, "Ethan, you coward, face me." I stepped up, keeping the door braced. "Go home, Caleb," I said. He laughed, slurring, "You think you're better than me? You're nothing." He tried to shove the door open, and I pushed back, hard. Sarah grabbed her phone, dialing Marjorie's number. Caleb saw and froze, then swung at me, missing wildly. I slammed the door in his face, and he pounded on it, screaming, "You're gonna pay." Our neighbor poked his head out, and Caleb bolted, tripping down the stairs. His text came right after, 8 in a row. "You're a dead man. I'm telling everyone you set me up. You'll lose everything." I sent them to Marjorie, saying, "Caleb's out of control." She replied, "That's it. He's done." Sarah says we should get a lock for the gate, and I'm thinking she's right. Caleb's never been this unhinged, but I'm not scared, just done. The family's in pieces, and I'm not fixing it. Marjorie's calling the shots, and Caleb's got 1 day left. I'm not helping him, and I'm not backing down. This is his mess, and he's about to learn what happens when you burn every bridge. It's been a month since Caleb's barn party, and the dust finally settling. I'm still processing him calling me just the muscle, but I've come out the other side feeling stronger. Caleb's out of the farmhouse, and while it wasn't the dramatic showdown I expected, it's changed everything. Great Aunt Marjorie followed through, and Caleb's crashing at a friend's place now, still sending me angry texts, but they're fewer, weaker. Sarah, my girlfriend, says I've finally taken back my self-respect, and she's right. The family's still fractured, but I'm finding peace and standing my ground. This isn't about revenge. It's about me refusing to be Caleb's doormat anymore, and it's led to a new start I didn't see coming. The family group chat's non-existent now. Mom tried one last time, sending a picture of her and Dad at a diner, but nobody replied. Dad's finally spoken up, texting me, "I wish this hadn't happened, Ethan." I wrote back, "Me too," but Caleb made his choices. He didn't respond. Tessa's gone silent online, no more farmhouse posts. Sarah heard Tessa's moved back with her parents, done with Caleb for good. Greg, her dad, sent me a message, thanking me for being straight with him. "Wish I'd seen through Caleb sooner," he said. I told him no hard feelings. Caleb's still posting, but it's just him at bars, no farmhouse, no big plans. His comments are empty, and he's blocked half the family. Marjorie called me the day after Caleb's drunken stunt at our apartment. "He's out," she said. "I went to the farmhouse with your Aunt Clara to make sure he left." She found the place worse than ever, trash strewn across the yard, a smashed lamp in the house, and the barn door hanging off its hinges. Caleb tried to beg, saying he'd fix it if she gave him a month. Marjorie wasn't having it. "You've had months," she told him. Clara tried to defend him, but Marjorie shut her down. Caleb packed his stuff, left the keys, and walked out, not even looking at them. Marjorie said he tried to hug her, but she stepped back. "I'm disappointed, Caleb," was all she said. He's been at his buddy's place since, and Marjorie's hired a crew to clean the farmhouse. The family's split for good now. Mom's mad at me, saying I pushed too hard. I told her I just told the truth. "You're still my son," she said, but it felt hollow. Aunt Clara's sticking with Caleb, calling me selfish in a voicemail I didn't return. Nate's on my side, texting, "Caleb's got to grow up sometime. You did what you had to." Even Dad nodded when I saw him at the hardware store, saying, "You stood up for yourself, Ethan." That's something. It's not a warm fuzzy, but it's enough. Marjorie's been the real surprise. She called me yesterday, asking if I'd help oversee the farmhouse repairs. "You've always been reliable," she said. "I trust you." I said I'd think about it, but it felt good to be seen. Caleb's still trying to stir things up. His latest texts, 5 in a row, call me a traitor, say I stole his future. I left them on read. Sarah says he's just yelling into the void now. He tried calling Nate for money, but Nate shut him down. Mom offered to let him stay at her place, but he refused, saying he's not a charity case. Nobody else is stepping up. His friends are ghosting him, and Tessa's family won't take his calls. Sarah and I went for a walk last night, and she asked if I'm okay with how it's all played out. "I'm not happy," I said, "but I'm free." She smiled, said, "That's a win." Marjorie's offer got me thinking. I talked it over with Sarah, and we're considering moving closer to the farmhouse. Not to live there, Marjorie's keeping it as a rental, but to help manage it. It'd be a fresh start, away from the family drama. I told Marjorie I'd take the job, and she's paying me fair. Caleb found out through Nate and sent one last text. "You're taking my life. Hope you're happy." I didn't reply. He's not my responsibility anymore. The family may never be the same, but I'm not the one who broke it, Caleb did, and I'm not carrying that weight. Sarah and I are planning a quiet weekend, just us, no family, no drama. The farmhouse job's a chance to build something for myself, not clean up someone else's mess. I'm not looking for a big victory lap, just a life where I'm not the punchline. Caleb's got his own road now, and I hope he figures it out, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm moving forward, and for the first time, it feels like I'm the one calling the shots. That's enough for me.